Alrighty then, it's time for a Jungle Zack game, and I have a few things to say about his latest rework. Which one? I first have to mention that I don't know whether I like it or I hate it. So, as you guys know, I adored Zack before his rework. And right now, like, there's some positive things and some negative things, and he might be really strong, it might be a numbers thing, I don't know. First off, I despise his new ultimate so much. I hate how really awkward it is to use, and sometimes it feels like it does nothing. When it works, it doesn't really feel that impressive either, so it's just kind of, in my opinion, a pretty dud ultimate. Yes, it can make some plays every now and then, but, you know, oftentimes I don't end up really doing very much with it, just kind of using it as a knockup or a mini nuke or whatever. His Q, though, oh my god, his new Q is probably one of the best abilities in the game. I love it so much. You could do some crazy dumb shit with it, or like, you know, pull grab somebody, and then even though they use, you know, gap closers or escape, you hit a minion somewhere and then you just bring them back. It's so cool to use. I love his Q so much, and that alone makes me like the new rework a bit more. Like, it makes up for how shitty his ultimate is. Power level, he seems to do just quite a bit of as much damage, although his ultimate allowed him to do some crazy little shenanigans or whatever. So right now, I have to lean more the fact that I like it. It's definitely strong and whatever. Anyways, here comes the first counter gank. The enemy team went a little bit too ham and they kind of just lost it. And here's the showcase of his Q. Oh god, I love that. I flash over, deal some more damage with it. Caitlyn gets 2 kills off that, and then I just tank the tower just so Caitlyn can get the Xin Zhao kill. Sadly, my blobs aren't in a position to, you know, survive. So I get killed by the tower, and Xin Zhao picks up the kill, but whatever. Caitlyn got 3 kills early on, and that's just gonna absolutely snowball the bottom lane in our favor. So that's dramatic. She already had 2 kills prior to, so it's pretty much a done deal down bottom lane. So I don't have to worry about that anymore. As always, when you get a few levels as Zack, just kind of farm Storm. And like, his new Q is kind of the same thing, same view at clearing as his old one, so he really didn't get affected all that much. He's still kind of a sustained boss, he still pretty much destroys AoE camps. That wasn't really harmed. It was mostly just his ultimate, and his Q obviously being amazing. His ultimate, I actually I actually get to use his ultimate a few times, and like, only once do I actually feel it had any actual impact, and at best, his other ultimate might have just kind of done the same thing. Here I jumped on the Syndra, I tag her, I used my ultimate just to kind of knock her out. That's about as much as I could, because she was going to be too far. I used it for a mini nuke, and I died anyways. The Echo in the chat during this game, you can't really see it, was complaining a lot because he was getting a gank, and at that point I kind of forced it. It cost me my life. I normally wouldn't be that aggressive in it, but whatever. Still though, this game, as you can see, is already going in our favor. At least, you know, the proper people being fed are pretty huge. The Echo is now starting to with 1 kill snowball a little bit. I'm starting to jungle invade, and yeah, it's just kind of a lower division kind of game, just getting out of hand. Here, I clear the rates, and it's about the only like ultimate I get off. I gotta give it credit on here though. If I had the old ultimate, I probably would have just kind of died doing this, jumping in and then just picking her up and dragging her back to my team so they can gun her down. But even then, I just kind of feel that most of the time the ultimate doesn't really work, because if they see it coming, they kind of just move out of the way or just dash out or something, and whatever, right? Even if you hit them and they're not exactly in the center, they might just kind of naturally walk out of it. It just kind of feels like it doesn't function as much as they want it to function. However, I do concede that it has the potential to be a really strong ultimate, and they might not be able to buff it as a result. Just because, you know, if they made it faster, more functional, you might just make too many, you know, game-changing moves with that shit, and it just kind of be a little broken. Zack's old ultimate could be considered quote-unquote broken too, in that if you used it properly during the fight, you could just jump around collecting your blobs and just, you know, killing somebody in a 1v1 duel. In team fights, it kind of just did the same thing, but a little bit less impact depending on what kind of team comp you were against. So its usefulness was very, you know, was very variable, right? Yeah, sounds good to say. Right now, yeah, 16-6. It's low elo, or it says, so they're kind of just getting absolutely slaughtered. I just kind of want to talk about Zack. I also got to point this out. It's kind of a really annoying thing it's pretty well known, right, in lower divisions. People don't know how to close out games, or they're just kind of assholes. This game is technically over, but people aren't trying to group up. I'm trying to encourage people to group up, and they're kind of just going for frags at this point. Even in chat, if you guys saw the stream, they were just kind of shit-talking the enemy team and going for kills. I'm just trying to end the enemy team's misery and end my misery because I don't want to be here. But whatever, 19-6, right? You can see how much more of this video is left. We already technically won. The enemy team won't surrender, you know, that's kind of their little right. That's their right not to surrender. But my team is just kind of refusing just to end their misery. Here I jump to Xin Zhao, do a lot of damage, but obviously it's a Xin Zhao, so I probably shouldn't have done that. Smite the red buff to survive, use the explosion to go over the wall. Surprisingly, the Xin Zhao didn't follow me, so I managed to, you know, not die for that. Gragas is joining the fight a little too goddamn late. I want to sort of snipe somebody or just try to lure Xin Zhao out so Gragas can kill him. But whatever, it ends up causing me my death, and Gragas just kind of, whatever. I shouldn't have trusted people in 4 divisions. Whatever, I die, I think the Riven gets beat to death, slowly. Actually, no, she survives. Okay, they all survive, and he chases her down until forever, and he actually doesn't get anything. I kind of forgot this game because, you know, I kind of want to forget all the nightmares I'm having in this division. But slowly but surely, at least we're sort of getting to the inhibitors. But again, my team is trash-talking, my team is refusing to group up, and it's kind of sad. This game is going to end in a victory. So I'm just going to talk about Zac. Old Zac, I used him in solo queue to a lot of success. And when this account, when I actually bothered to play this account, him, Jarvan, and Dr. Mundo were some of my most played. They kind of are, well, Dr. Mundo and Zac are kind of similar. I think they're really tanky and, you know, very healthy and shit like that. They're just kind of very... They're tanks that can punish people for being a little bit too, I guess, silly or naive or overconfident. And Zac was pretty much a good duelist if you knew how to move around and you'd be able to play circles around people. And I adored that. Plus, Zac could be played top lane, and after playing Zac top lane twice, I don't know if he's as strong as before, mostly because he can't use his Q for poke anymore as much as, well, as at all, completely. And his new ultimate kind of sucks for 1v1. So, I don't know if his top lane days are over, but I really like playing Zac top lane as well. But whatever, right? I'm going to be playing him mostly in the jungle anyhow. But yeah, 22-9. This game should have been over about 6 minutes ago, but my team wants to drag it out. The amount of rage I was feeling in the stream, if you were watching it, was extreme. I don't know why. Okay, there was another game too that I might even upload, in which the game lasted for 45 goddamn minutes, right? Even though it should have been over 20 minutes ago, because the team just didn't want to end a damn thing. Anyways, jump in there, Q, slam people's heads together. So I think I tried to use the ultimate to some shitty ass effect here. I really just can't. There's no actual opening to use it. I jump in, try to get the Syndra, do something, but ultimately she probably would have died anyway, so whatever. Well, again, I adore his Q. It's one of the best fucking abilities I've ever seen in the game, and I give a lot of props to Ryan. Anyways, here I am, trying to take the Nexus turrets by myself. You know, Zac can't really push for shit, but my teammates are going for kills. I get one of them. The enemy team turns around and just sort of chases me off. I don't know why the Xin Zhao overcommitted. We can't really kill him, but whatever. He just kind of wasted his time. But yeah, if the team had just focused on the next turns, we would have just kind of won there. And you think that's the only time that's going to happen? No, this is hello. Anyways, Xin Zhao gets a little too close again. Gragas is just sort of taunting him, goading him on, and obviously is being baited in. It's like, I don't know why you would fall for that. You know, there's no gain just even being there. Slowly kill him though, because this team doesn't want to really help him, and he's kind of tanky as hell. And then we just kind of throw a barrel at him and he dies. That was... I don't know why his team just sort of abandoned him, but whatever. I mean, they kind of just gave up hope, right? Jump in, kill Syndra, bring out the Riven. At that point, the ultimate was actually pretty useful, but again, she probably would have just died anyways because the enemy team just kind of doesn't give a fuck anymore. Alright. Here, once again, I'm going to go for these Nexus turrets, and my teammates, throughout the entire game, just kind of being assholes, go for more frags. I'm here just trying to push this fucking Nexus, and my teammates are just... you see? It's just a waste of time. Whatever. If you're wondering why it's taking a while, there's reasons like this. And I'll tell you right now, there was one other game I ended up playing in which we lost because of this shit. It wasn't on this account. It's just where people just do this shit, they all get wiped out at the fountain, and then the enemy team gets their inhibitors back, and they get some sort of big-ass advantage, and then we lose. That's happened way more than often. Like, just, I don't know. It's lower division, but I've seen this happen in Platinum and even Diamond, right? I don't even know what to talk about because at this point, it's just kind of pointless. I already mentioned everything I wanted about Zac. I don't know whether or not he's really that so good right now, if it's not just because his numbers are a little kind of strong right now. When Riot finishes, I guess, nerfing the nerf rounds on him, I'm going to be very curious where he stands. I missed the fact that he can't really top lane. His Q is the best goddamn ability in the goddamn universe. His ultimate is the worst ability in the goddamn universe. I fucking hate it. So, I don't know whether or not I end up liking him or if he's going to stay strong or whatever. But, yay for Zac.